Hey everybody, I'm too old to work without a prop or a net. There's hundreds of UFO books out there and if not thousands of books about the so-called paranormal. Why should you read this one? Number one, it's a timely historical, cultural, and personal memoir featuring my own UFO sightings in Mexico and North Dakota, plus some disturbing high strangeness events in my own home in South Minneapolis. There's probably not another book like it, from classic sightings to Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. That's human-initiated contact with the boys upstairs. That's my kooky shorthand for the visitors that everyone from the RAND Corporation to the CIA and the military worldwide have heavily researched and observed over the many years, especially since the dawn of the atomic age, if not further back. Number two, it's a fascinating journey that takes readers into the often bewildering realms of UFO researchers from around the world and their debunkers. It looks at the so-called abduction issue, why the secrecy and how it might work, and several high-profile disclosure efforts, including that recent one from the U.S. government that landed in June with a thud, all 9 pages of it. There are also close interactions with major news media like CBS's 48 Hours, government officials like President Bill Clinton and his staff, to public figures like Lawrence Rockefeller, all interested in the big enigma, the UFO discussion. Along the way, you'll meet celebrated astronauts like Ed Mitchell, Apollo 14 astronaut and the sixth man to walk on the moon, plus Native American medicine men like Standing Elk, who sponsored the first Star Knowledge Conference in South Dakota years ago, where my traveling companion and I saw a UFA, an unidentified flying arrow, on our way to the event where I was scheduled to speak. You'll be transported also to a variety of other intriguing locations like that South Dakota Indian Reservation, to a desert in Arizona where a former NASA Ames specialist hypnotized me to explore the high strangeness events in my own home, to a famous UFO hotspot in the volcano zone of Mexico, just 80 miles south of Mexico City, and of course the hallowed halls of Congress in Washington. Throughout the work, you'll be introduced to the emerging science of human consciousness, or inner space as I like to call it, a subject so critical to humanity's future that astronaut Ed Mitchell developed an entire educational foundation to explore it. And did you notice? The book has a rousing endorsement from fellow UFO enthusiast, blues brother, and Ghostbusters, Danny Aykroyd. Number 3, best of all, the Space Pen Club is written for those who know very little about this subject, as it is for those who have gone down the many rabbit holes that the subject has to offer. Number 4, finally, if you are seeking knowledge, facts, or even some serious and occasionally funny UFO scuttlebutt from this realm, you may learn that you are, in fact, also a member of the Space Pen Club, and that's a good thing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to Rain Taxi. I'm over at the Calumet table in the 700 aisle, and I'll be signing books here shortly. Watch the skies and stay in touch.